Hello, everyone.
But we'll be okay.
All right, there we go.
All right, let me focus on here.
Refocus. There we go.
Hello. You look so cute. You
I
got your jammies on.
I know.
Christmas. Got the Christmas gear on.
Oh yeah.
It's like a little tunic with leggings. I felt like feeling a little festive today, and
Absolutely.
I love it.
All right. Well, both of you, I'm so excited to have both of you on tonight. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started.
Sounds great.
Everyone. Hello, everyone that is watching. I am Tisha, your favorite breast cancer survivor, host of Tisha's Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. And tonight is a special episode where we are talking about it's the holiday season. So I have two very special friends that are coming on, and we're going to have a nice chat tonight. I got my tea. I hope you ladies have something to sip on tonight while we have this chat. And so, without further ado, let me introduce you to my two wonderful guests tonight. My first guest is a survivor. She is one of a friend that I have met through an organization called Young Survivors Coalition. We recently connected and we just hit it off ever since. And she is just a beautiful soul. My first guest, everyone, I would like for you to introduce you to Miss Deb. Deb, pronounce your last name because I don't want to mess it up.
Ontiveros.
Ontiveros. I've been practicing that all day. And I was like, I didn't want to get it wrong. But please welcome everyone, my guest, Deb Ontiveros. And my other guest is also a wonderful friend of mine that I connected with through social media. She is a wonderful resource. She is not only a survivor, but she is also a life coach. So everyone, please give a welcome to my friend, my survivor sister, Miss Erica Silva. Hi,
Erica. Hello, guys.
First and foremost, thank you both for coming on tonight and just
of course.
And just sharing, first, just taking the time out of your day to come to the tea room and have a chat with me. So, Deb, I'm gonna start with you first, and
Okay,
we're just gonna have a normal chat.
sounds good.
You are again a survivor, and you are a thriver. So, just tell us a little bit about your breast cancer journey.
So my breast cancer journey started 5 years ago in 2018, the spring of 2018. At the time, I was a single mom of a 4-year-old daughter. I was living in the city in Salt Lake City. I was pretty independent. I would describe myself as very independent, go. I had a lot of things on my plate, so I didn't have time for breast cancer. So I was originally misdiagnosed. I came in 2 years prior when my child was 2 years old, and they said, "Oh, you're still breastfeeding. It's just a clogged milk duct. You're too young."
Wow.
And it was very dismissive. You don't have a family history, and I was like, well, I was adopted, so like, how would you know? Like, I need to have this. So 2 years go by, and that's kind of my bad too for not advocating for myself, because I didn't have the tools yet to like really speak up for myself. I was so overwhelmed with the circumstances of my life that I didn't think anything of it. And I think that happens to a lot of moms, where we sort of put ourselves on the back burner because or our health comes last, right?
Yeah.
So when I finally did get in to get that lump that never went away, checked out and stuff, it was already metastatic. So it was kind of a de novo diagnosis. It was like, hey, you have breast cancer, and then let's do a bunch of tests. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, hey, you have breast cancer, and it already metastasized. And so it was like a lot to take in at once. But I felt, when I'm looking back now 5 years, I feel like I was scared, but I was like, okay, one more thing on my to-do list. Like, let's get this done and stuff. And I had a few ideas about how I wanted to go about treatment, and I put it off a little bit because I wanted to have some fun and enjoy some time with my daughter, because I didn't know what to expect. And I wasn't involved in the breast cancer community yet. I didn't seek out any community support because I didn't think that was for me. I was like, I have my own community. I don't, I have plenty of people, that are supporting me, but obviously it's not the same. And I would learn that later and stuff, right? And so I did Taxol, I did Herceptin, I did Perjeta because I was diagnosed triple positive. Did 4.5 months of that. And then in October of that year, I reached NED status, which was great. And I held the NED status for almost 5 years. Okay. Unfortunately, last month I had a bad scan. So it was the first one in a long, long time. And so we didn't know if it was progression of this, or if it's something different. And so it turns out that now I have another breast cancer. So I have another tumor and it's hormone receptor positive, and I'm very much in the beginning of dealing with that. So it's like, on one hand, I'm glad that I don't have progression of my original metastatic disease, but on the other hand, I'm like feeling a little overwhelmed because now I have to deal with an early stage diagnosis and do all those things while still treating the meds and getting my infusion and stuff. And so that's kind of tainted my holiday spirit a little bit because I've just been, so overwhelmed and stuff. And so it's like, it was good. We were doing like metastatic breast cancer. Taxol took it out, did really good, hit the 5-year mark this year, was doing great. And then now I kind of got to this point, and it's different this time around. And then maybe it's because I've had such a long period of time of doing well, that like it's hitting me emotionally a little bit different. It could be the time of year too. I'm prone to depression this time of year. I struggle with bipolar disorder, so I know my triggers and stuff. And this has been, having a new diagnosis on top of another one is triggering and stuff. And, and I'm so thankful for my husband's been so supportive. He's been showing up with me to the doctor's appointments and stuff, because I was like, hey, I need another set of ears. Like, I want to make sure that I'm understanding everything that's being told to me. And so I'm kind of in a limbo period because we don't want to do anything until after the holidays. I'm just going to go in on Wednesday, talk to the oncologist, see what the recommendation is. I've been waiting for this appointment, and get my regular infusion, a few days before Christmas, and then have like a new goal plan of like, hey, this is what my new year is going to look like. Like, I'm starting a new year. I'm starting, to treat a newer, he called it a baby tumor, the oncologist. So I got to treat the baby tumor. Okay. But meanwhile, on the other hand, I'm so grateful that it's not progression of the meds and stuff. And so it's like, and I think that that's something that has kept me afloat of these 5 years, is always having a sense of gratitude of like, well, okay, it has been worse. So, things can always be worse, and I think about just circumstances in my own life of like, think about all the other stuff you got to deal with, and it's like, it's not so bad, and so I'm trying really hard, especially because it is the holidays and I am a mom and I'm trying to get into the spirit, and it's been, I've been a little draggy around here and stuff, but I was like, if I, slap on some makeup and, put a little color on, maybe it'll like help, put a little music on, and just get into the mood.
Right.
But yeah, it's been an interesting journey with the breast cancer. I was riding that NED high, the no evidence of disease high, for a while. And then here we are. And I think that's what makes it challenging too, is not having all the answers. Not knowing what's going to happen yet, because it's like, oh, am I going to have surgery? Am I going to have chemo again for this thing? Am I going to need radiation? And that's all new for me, because that's all early stage stuff. So when they told me like, hey, we're going to treat this like an early stage, tumor, I was like, oh no, I better jump in my groups. And my metastatic status, it's like, and I think that that's just how it is we're always getting thrown curveballs. I don't know anybody that's not being thrown a curveball left and right, and and cancer just sucks, but it's part of my life, and I'm dealing with it.
And that's
like a champ.
It does. And that's one thing that we as breast cancer survivors, we always, that thought is always in the back of our minds. Oh my gosh, when is it going to come back? And then, like you said, you went so long with, you were doing good and no detection, everything was doing, and then bam.
Yeah, just like that. Well, and actually, it wasn't just like that. On September, so at the first of the month, a lot of people do the campaign of Feel It on the First, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I should literally feel it on the first. And I was very confident. I was like, but I get scans every 3 months and my last scans were just fine. And then on September, I felt it on the first. And all of a sudden I was like,
I
a
found
little
it.
tiny something there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, scans are coming in October. And I was still very confident on the scan date. I was so sure and stuff. And then that's just how it goes. But the level of anxiety of waiting
Uh-huh.
is what's been challenging. It's like, oh, here's the first scan. I'm terrible about looking at my chart before the doctor sees it. I go in there and I think that it's going to be good for my anxiety, but it just heightens it, and so I want to see. And so when I'm seeing this information and then I'm like, well, now I got to sit with this information
Yeah.
until the professionals tell me, how are we going to handle this and stuff. And so I don't know. Like sometimes it still feels very surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh my husband will be like, oh, my wife has stage 4 breast cancer. And I'm like, oh, that's me. Like, that's okay. It's okay. People, and I get a lot of the like, oh, you don't look sick, and I'm like, well, you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
really, you don't see the mental health side. You don't see the right after the infusion,
Exactly.
Right.
I don't look like this every day.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but I try. My mom had a saying in Spanish, and it basically translates to the worse you feel, the better you should look. And that's not always the best advice, but then it turned out to be the best advice going to chemo
Right.
and stuff. I would glam it up. I would put on the necklaces and the earrings, and I would wear the beautiful scarves when my head was bald, because I feel like you have to find what's going to get you going. And you don't want to lose that piece of yourself when you're already losing so much of yourself in this breast cancer journey or story, however you want to label it for yourself. And I just thought, like, I'm going to bring, my mom passed away 12 years ago. So I talk about my mom a lot and stuff. And so that was like a way of me keeping her with me, where I was like, oh, if she was here, she would be like, come on, put on a little blush, like
Yeah.
a little lipstick. It'll help you feel better and stuff. And, I didn't want her to be right, but she's right.
Mom's always
Like,
even
and
when
so
be right, they
yeah.
always right.
Yeah,
So
they really are, it's, and so I think that I think about what she would say to me to like keep me going this time, especially with the holidays and stuff. And and because I was thinking about that, where I was like, oh, we're going to talk about, navigating the holidays and what
yeah.
that's like. And I was like, well, if I'm being truthful, it's been kind of hard this year,
Yeah.
but I think that might be an experience for a lot of people, whether they're like new in their survivorship, or years out and stuff. I feel
Right.
like there's, the one common denominator is breast cancer, right? But then we have all these ways that it stretches out, and it's different. It's different and it's the same. And we
Yeah.
can like talk about it and find our similarities.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Eric, I want to bring you in because you are also not only a breast cancer survivor as well as, but you are a life coach. So
Sorry.
no, I keep on being on the show too. So hey, that is it's all good. All good. Share with us a little bit, if you don't mind, about your journey and how did you get into your as being,
I'm sorry. Let me just put him away because
you
I'm
know,
not going to be able to hear you guys. I'll start. And actually, we have, Deb and I started our journey the same year,
okay.
2018. And, I was also just divorced and had a daughter. I have a daughter, and it was very difficult. I mean, like the surreal that you were talking about, Deb, is very much a present thing and feeling that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we are first diagnosed, we really don't know what to do.
Right.
We get so much information at the same time, and it's so overwhelming. You have, different doctor's appointments, different scans, different this, different that. It almost takes over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yes, it gives you that surreal feeling because it's like you're just on an autopilot, moving forward. Like, okay, let me try to, put my lipstick on, look good, feel good, right? So, to try to get through treatments, try to get through your surgeries and this and that. Um, it's definitely very difficult. I'm still dealing with issues from cancer. There are related to it. Like I always tell people, you know, cancer is a gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, it's always something, you know, and the mental health is something that is overlooked in our community, with the doctors and the nurses and everything. I mean, I am a firm believer that we should have a therapist available for us at all times during treatment because we need it.
Yeah.
But they don't piece that together. In fact, they, you know, for me, I was diagnosed with triple positive, stage 2, and I have a PALB2 mutation. So that is a little scary because the PALB2 is prone to give you pancreatic cancer. So they keep me, and I had to fight for that, for them to every so often give me scans. To check, you know, I'll have one in January 2nd, just to make sure my esophagus or my pancreas is okay. And they didn't want to do that. Their answer first was, well, we don't do that. We wait until something comes up. Exactly. That was my face, looking at them like, what? So you're going to wait until I have a type of cancer that is uncurable, basically, and you're going to just wait until it shows up and you're going to decide what to do? Like, that's not okay with me.
No.
So I fought for that. And then now they do the regular scans and things like that. So it's that whole piece that we learn with time, that we have to advocate for ourselves, and we have to really be firm with them, really, you know, kind of push for things. So I did have a full hysterectomy. I had, right now, I think I'm on my 4th or 5th reconstructive surgery. Yeah, I've went through a lot of different surgeries and things like that. But, you know, and I was that time, and it was January that I was diagnosed. So when December came, when I was in chemotherapy, let me just bring that to the table. When I was in chemotherapy, I was actually let go from my job. The way they did it was they took away an entire department, and that was people that were just about to complete 1 year in the company. We were 1 month out. So I was counting with that, you know, time off that I was going to have, my PTO from working a year. So I could at least have a little bit of paid time. So it didn't quite work that way. I had to rely on foundations, GoFundMe, friends doing things. I would never, you know, forget. So we have that very big gratitude feeling, even though we're going through such a hard time and things like that. You're so overwhelmed with different emotions at the same time that it's very hard to decipher which emotions you're even actually having. So it takes a little bit of time. This time around, Deb, you will know what to do. You will know what's coming. You will know how to advocate for yourself. You will know how to get the attention from the doctors. If you feel that something is not right, you know what to do. So you can take that, you know, with you, the previous experience, even though it's something new and it's a very brand new diagnosis for you. Mine was also very hormone, because it's triple positive, so it's hormone. So if you want to talk to me after the At any time, you can always talk to me, and I will give you all the heads up of the hormone therapies and or the AIs and all
I
that
will bet
that they put
I'm
us
gonna take
on.
you up on
But
that for sure.
yeah, but
Love
it's
it.
very complicated, and people don't understand. They don't, they think after your chemotherapy and your mastectomy is done, then you're done. You're good to go. You got to back to yourself, and it's not like that. Our bodies are in the same, our minds are in the same. We just don't think the same anymore.
No, it's
I
like
used
we're
to be in collections. I can't do that job anymore.
right.
It's not in me. I just can't possibly contact someone and ask them for money when they're telling me I'm on a fixed income. I'm on a fixed income.
Yeah.
And I became, and when I was in that situation and I was first diagnosed and going through the treatments and things like that, like it just, all those emotions starts arising, and then you're just like, okay, I have to change certain things in my life. I need to do things differently. I need to look, and you do without even thinking about it. You start looking at the world differently. Things, you're more grateful for different things, small things, because all we have is day by day,
Yeah.
Right.
right? I mean, we can only focus on day by day, one day at a time. So bringing the holidays into it,
Yes.
it can be very delicate to find balance, right? So, I mean, we have fatigue, we got anxiety, we have PTSD, we have memories from previous Christmases that we were bald and that I didn't have any money. I was relying on foundations to buy gifts for my child. Like things that a lot of people can't understand.
Right. So some experiences, because mostly, when we think about the holidays, most people are, they're cheerful, they're happy, they're in
Yep,
this good spirit, but then, it's difficult and it can be very stressful
of
for
course.
those that are going through or have been through breast cancer because, like you said, um, memories come up from
Yeah.
when you was going through, your treatment, or when
Yep.
you were having financial difficulties, or you're just stressed and you just don't want to be bothered. So
Yeah.
yeah, and so Erica, if you can share with us some tips or some advice on how can we,
Sure.
navigate through the holidays.
I think one of the big things, and I'm really big on it, is I did make some notes for tonight. And so if you see me looking, it's
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm looking at my paper. But one of the priorities that I want to put out there is to prioritize your self-care. That is your really like something that is going to affect your mental health.
Hmm.
It's going to help you through it.
Hmm.
It will give you, you know, a little time for you to not think about the memories and to think about the things that you went through during that time.
Hmm.
So, number one is prioritizing the self care. Listen to your body. We know our bodies more than anybody. So we know how when we're fatigued, we know when we just cannot take on, you know what I mean? Like we need to really be gentle with
Hmm.
yourself, be kind, have some self-compassion because after all, we have gone through a shit ton of things.
Yeah.
So, and they were very difficult to go through. We
Right.
know. Um, so, exercise is great. If you're not able to do a lot of exercise, walk, go for some walk because that can clear your head. Just being outside and being in the moment,
Hmm.
focusing on what's around you, and that the small things can bring us joy. So like listening to the birds the birds singing this morning.
Mhm.
When I'm, it's just like the little things like that. Try to just bring it to that one moment instead of getting your mind to the next level.
Right.
That was number one. Managing your stress is a huge thing. We all have it. Anxiety, PTSD, we got depression at times. So it's very hard to ignore those feelings. So managing stress, I really, really do enjoy meditation. I like being just quiet and not having, and doing guided meditations are great because they guide you through it. You don't have to do anything. You just listening,
Mhm.
taking in that peace,
Mhm.
and learning how to just be with yourself. And deep breathing exercises are great. Um, there's another exercise that I really like when you're feeling in a panic attack mode,
Mhm.
like when I'm like, I can't breathe and I'm about to have a panic attack because I'm facing something really difficult. There's a exercise that it's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know
That's
that
what I
one,
was
Deb?
just thinking
It's
about.
so
I was
good
like,
Yeah.
because it
breathing.
like
Yeah.
Oh,
distracts
yes.
you.
That.
You look for 5 things around you. What can you see right now?
Mhm.
Ground yourself. Look around. Oh, I see a refrigerator. I see my water.
Mhm.
I see the dog. I see you. I see, and like 4, what do you smell?
Mhm.
Give me 4 smells that you smell right now. 3, things that you can touch.
Mhm.
2, you can, just like go down things that are around you and those feelings and try to kind of get them together. Eating healthy is something that it's very much preached to us. I don't talk about it so much because I don't eat very healthy myself, but it does.
Struggle.
I
Yeah.
will tell you, stay hydrated,
Mhm.
because it does help our system flush out things and so on. So that's really important for us to do. Um, the other thing is it's setting your boundaries because it can be, very overwhelming, very stressed. We
Yes.
want the holidays to be perfect.
Mhm.
Sometimes we want to host that perfect dinner for the family. We want the perfect presents for the kids and for, whatever we might be thinking that it's perfect in our minds.
Mhm.
It's very different now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we may not be able to buy things the way we used to before. We may not, uh, have different things that are coming into play that we're just not, it's different. So delegate and decline is
Yeah.
very important,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
especially during if you're trying to lift a little bit of that anxiety.
Mhm.
Delegate a little bit more. Have the people in your family, friends, they can do things.
Mhm.
And if you communicate to them how you're feeling, letting them know um, of your capacities, of what your body can handle at this time, they can see it clearly
Mhm.
and give you that space so that you can, take a break. We don't have to do it all. Other people can do it, and it's okay to take that. Set realistic expectations. One of
Mhm.
my favorites.
Mhm. Mhm.
Holidays may
Yeah.
not look like they used to before,
Right.
ever again. It may be that possibility for us that we just are never going to have holidays or feel like we did pre-cancerous.
Mhm.
But we can embrace the new traditions that we make. We can create new ones. Our holidays don't have to be huge parties with families and we're so stressed and doing all this, overwhelming ourselves. we could just have like a chill dinner this
Yeah.
year and
Yeah.
have everybody in pajamas. Let's watch Christmas
Mhm.
movies and not do anything.
I like that.
You know, there's like meaningful moments about the holiday
Mhm.
that it's a lot, you know, that they don't have to be perfect.
Right.
It's all about those special moments with our families and loved ones and the people that we care about. They're there supporting us, with us, you know, and it doesn't have to be something set in stone like you used to have on previous, you know, before cancer. Um, Gratitude,
Yeah.
we can take the time to, and I want you to do this, Deb. I want you to take the time to reflect on your strength and your resilience, because that's what you have. And that's a big tool that you have in your hands right now to face this new diagnosis. So you're doing the right thing by taking the time off,
Mhm.
telling your oncologist, let me live the holiday first. We can start treatments after that if that's the case, but enjoy this moment now. But think about, while you are going through your days, think about your strength and really reflect on that and be grateful for that. Your strength, your resilience, your power, your voice, like all those things are such a strong piece for you to keep moving.
Yeah.
Definitely need that reminder. Did we
Oh,
lose audio?
yeah. Erica, we can't hear you. Your audio went out. We can't hear. I don't know what happened. Something happens with the audio. But those were some great.
I was feeling this right now. I'm
I'm
like, come
telling
on.
you, that was some great, great tips. So while Erica is trying to get her audio back on, well, let's just reiterate everything that she has given us, the advice. What stood out for me was just, can you hear us?
Oh.
Oh no. You want to come back out and try to come back in? So we're having some technical difficulties. Hopefully she can get back on, and well, hopefully she can get her audio to start working in a few minutes. But again, one thing that I love that she said was just setting boundaries, or setting new
Yeah.
boundaries. You know, like you said, things that we may have been able to do last year or pre-cancer, we may not be able to do
And
this time around, and it's okay. So I think, yeah, she's going to come back out and try to come back in. So we
I
go.
I was thinking about that when she was saying that. I was thinking
Yeah.
about all the ways that I have modified things.
Okay, thank you for Pamela for letting me know that to go out and come back in. Thank you so much, Pam.
So, but no, we were just saying that, you know, you just gave such wonderful advice for
There
all of
was just one more thing I just
go
wanted to throw in there. After I was saying surround ourselves with our support system, create a new tradition this year
Yeah.
for your family.
that. I like that.
Whatever that looks like, and just create that and stay in tune with what triggers you. That is a huge thing, because when you are aware of your triggers, you can cut them off.
Yeah.
So that's a big, thing to always keep on the back of our minds.
Sure.
But yeah, make a new tradition this year with your baby. We should all do that. I feel like, it's something new. We need every year we're new, reborn.
Yeah.
Right.
We got another year that we're here,
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Well, I want to just say thank you for those for all that wonderful advice. And like Deb and I were saying, just for me, setting boundaries that really stuck out to me. And just learning to say no.
Yes.
That's huge, and that's something that I plan to do more of
Good.
in the new year. And like you said, and just I love the starting a new tradition, because
Yeah.
may not, pre-cancer, we were able to do all these great, wonderful things, and now that our bodies, and we have gone through this traumatic experience in our bodies,
Yep.
our bodies have changed, our mindsets have changed, our bodies have changed. So start a new tradition.
Yep.
Elaborate, like it was pre-cancer. It could be something small, but yet it's meaningful, and it's
Yep.
realistic, and it's something that we can get through. And the gratitude part, being,
Yes.
that mindset of being grateful every day, that we are here, because we are
Right.
not promised tomorrow, and another year that we are here,
Exactly.
we are thankful, and we're blessed, that we're able to see, another Christmas. Um,
Right.
so thank you for that. And with
Of
that being
course.
said, Deb, any last parting
I
words?
just loved everything that, all the advice that was given, because I was just nodding and nodding and going, yes, I've been
Yeah.
doing that. Yes, I did this.
And
Yes, I actually
I'm
did start something new
taking
2 years
notes.
ago. And then I think that a reminder also is, because for someone like myself, I have a hard time asking for help. So I really like the reminder of delegating and being like, okay,
Yep.
you know what, maybe just, be direct and be like, hey, I need this or I need that, and the declining and stuff. I got pretty good with the setting boundaries ones. That takes a lot of practice and
It
It
stuff.
does.
it does.
Um, but I think creating new traditions, I love that. I think modifying things, because I was just thinking about that. I had a moment yesterday, my husband and I were wrapping gifts, and I was like, wow, I used to be a single mom and I used to have to do this by myself. But now here I have somebody here that's, even though I don't like
Aw.
wrapping gifts, somebody is doing it with me, and so it is snapshotting those little moments, right? Nobody else is going to see that moment, right? And believe me, I was so grumpy, and he's doing a perfect job of rapping, and I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And then another moment that I had was realizing, like, hey, this is the first year that my daughter knows about Santa and Santa Mom. Right?
Yeah.
So I kind of got a little sad, where I was like, oh, like there's
Mhm.
cool things about it, where it's like, now, this is great. And then other parts where it's like, it went so fast. Right. And I think
Right.
that I think that cancer makes us, slow down in that sense, because we're
Yeah.
trying to hurry up because we don't know what the future holds. And especially with metastatic patients, where we're like, we don't
Exactly.
want to plan for the future. And so I, but unfortunately, sometimes I let those thoughts run too much, get too anxious about it. And I'm like, okay, I got to bring myself back down. And you were talking about meditation, and I love that reminder too, because I will go and I'll find a binaural beat on YouTube, one of those just like
Mm-hmm.
spiritual ones, and I just put it on, and it's just, I'll just sit there with my thoughts and check
Yeah.
in with my body, see where I'm at, and and be like, this is not happening, or this is happening, or this is what
They
I can
have
do.
night ones. Like it's really good too, like at nighttime. If you can find one that it's like before you go to sleep meditation, you can literally put it on YouTube like sleeping meditation.
Yeah.
So what it will do is it'll kind of drift you away as you're laying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And the music, sometimes it's water sounds, and you're just kind of like getting out of your head, is what
Yeah.
I'm always in my head.
Always in my
Yeah,
head.
always.
We always are, we can't help it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of all the trauma that we've experienced. That is always constantly on our minds. So,
Yeah.
especially for metastatic patients, I mean, it's something that it's constantly buzzing.
Yeah.
So, you have to have that mindset change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard because the mindset change is you need to talk nicely and to yourself. If you wouldn't talk like that or put down your friend. So if you're not going to talk to your friend like that, why are you talking to yourself that way? Like, I did affirmations on sticky notes and I have it all over my mirror. You know, every day I see it, I think about it, I digest it. Like, it's important to do those things.
Yes.
And it's little things like that that will get your mind
Over time.
shifted.
Yep.
Yes.
But you have to get on that. It's like a practice every day.
It really is.
Yeah.
But
I
I
use an
believe that the
information calendar.
meditation helps
Yeah.
with it too, because it helps you relax a little bit.
I love it.
And I'm always here. You guys can always call me.
This is
Absolutely.
great stuff.
Know that you two are always well, as I tell my guests, you know, this is not your last time coming to the tea room.
Good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. And Deb, I both of you so much. Thank you for
I
coming.
love both of you.
Thanks for having us. Yes.
Yeah,
This was
thank
a
you
great
so much. I'm
conversation and
honored
stuff.
to be here.
Yeah.
I have just been, I don't know about you, but I have just been, my heart is just full. I have been really blessed tonight
Me too.
with everything that has been said tonight. This was a wonderful, wonderful conversation, an important conversation that needed to be, but it was a good conversation. I love
I think so.
Yes.
So with that being said, Deb, how can people follow you on social media?
They can find me on Facebook at Deb Ontiveros, just how it is, or on Instagram at Deb for Peace 247, because we need that peace 247. Basically, I'm on both of those, you know, and I'm always, you know, my chat's always open. I'm a little slow, but I'm always happy to talk to people. And if somebody wants to share their experience or has a question or something, I have found that in this community, like when I entered the community, I was like, wow, people will really reach out. I like that. So reach out if you want to reach out.
Absolutely. And Erica, how can everybody follow you?
So on Facebook is Erica Cabral Silva, and on Instagram is at Your Pink Sis. And I have created now a life coaching program it's called Navigating Life After Breast Cancer. And I launched it just recently. So it has like 6 different chapters. Each chapter has an activities, like different activities for you to work on. It's really something that it's like every week you kind of work on that one. The next week you work on the other one, and so on. So you can take your time with it. It's I just kind of put it out there, and I'm hoping that it's helpful for our community. So yeah, I'm trying to see if we can, together make some moves and
we're going to change the
educate.
Changing breast cancer game. We are changing the game.
We got to advocate. We need to be activists.
Absolutely.
We need to support one another. Always. I mean, it's just, something that we have in common, and it brought us together, and it won't separate us ever. So it's something that we can just grow from with each other. We can help each other grow with it and from it. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky to have both of you as friends in my life. It's very important for me. It makes my heart happy when I'm able to share those things and give, a little bit of what I've learned and pass it on. So it's anytime and I've always made myself pretty open about my journey, about everything. And you can always reach out to me, contact me. I will get back to you. you know, it's important to make those connections.
Absolutely. Because you
Oh,
never
I agree.
listening and who's watching. And just my motto is, if I reach one
Of
person,
course.
I've done what was required of me. Because our stories, as we share, somebody may be going through the exact same thing, and they
Sure.
can look at you two and like, oh wow, this is what they're doing, and they're getting
Yeah.
through it, and they're living day by day. And this is the reason why I created Tisha's Tea Room, so that we can have a platform for
Yeah.
chat and just talk and share and encourage and advocate and educate.
I love
So,
it.
and
Love
with
it. Yeah.
I just want to thank the both of you for just taking the time out to come to Tisha's Tea Room, to come to the tea room and just chat. I love you. I love you both. And we're going to end this note, since it's the holidays.
Are you gonna put my song
We're
on?
gonna play.
What?
A little music as we close out.
Let me get my microphone.
We're gonna close it out with a little Mariah Carey.
There's just one thing I need. Underneath the Christmas tree.
Two of my bestie. I love y'all so much.
I love both of
Everyone
you so much too. Keep in touch.
I want to say just thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
And again,
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Oh, Deb, keep in touch with me. I need to know everything that's happening so I can be there for you.
I appreciate that, Erica. Thank you so much, and thank you,
That's
Tisha,
what
for creating this space that we can be in and just
Yeah.
keep chatting it. I feel good.
Good.
I needed this. Thank you.
I'm so
Good. I'm glad, Deb.
about.
That's
This
great
is
to
what
hear.
all about. Yes. So with that being said, this is Tisha, your favorite breast cancer survivor from Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. Happy holidays. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful, a safe, a healthy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad. I love you.
Yes.
Holidays, ladies. See you in the new year.
Mwah, bye. So tell. Na, 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 na.
Happy holidays, ladies.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Thank you,
holidays.
Pam.